Is Canada really the peaceful paradise the world believes it to be, or is there a storm brewing behind its calm facade? Canada has long been romanticized as a land of politeness, prosperity, and progressive ideals. With breathtaking natural beauty, a multicultural population, and a high standard of living, it's easy to see why so many dream of living in the Great White North. But beneath this polished image lies a Canada that even many Canadians are beginning to question. Quietly, yet rapidly, the nation is confronting deep-rooted challenges that are starting to shake the very foundation of what it means to live in this iconic country. In this video, we're diving into 10 shocking problems Canadians are facing right now, problems that many outsiders have no idea even exist. These aren't just issues for politicians and policymakers. These are personal struggles. These are daily battles. These are the stories Canadians don't always tell the world. If you're Canadian, this video might hit close to home. If you're not, prepare to see a side of Canada the travel brochures never mention. Stay with us to the end, and if this surprises or enlightens you, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives like this. Now, let's uncover the truth. The housing crisis that's breaking dreams. For years, owning a home was considered a rite of passage in Canada. A quiet suburban house, a backyard for the kids, and a driveway to shovel during winter, these were once signs of success and stability. Today, however, the idea of owning property feels like a fantasy for millions of Canadians. Renters are trapped in overpriced, poorly maintained units while would-be buyers find themselves forever outbid or shut out by skyrocketing costs. The dream of homeownership is no longer just delayed, for many, it has been completely erased. Cities like Vancouver and Toronto have become playgrounds for foreign investors and wealthy elites, while average Canadians compete just to find a safe, warm place to live. The situation has created a silent class divide, forcing families to stay together longer, pushing younger generations into debt, and displacing entire communities from their cultural roots. Behind the polite smiles of Canadian hospitality, there's a growing frustration, and it starts at the front door. The cost of living that no one can keep up with. Everyday life in Canada is becoming painfully expensive. Groceries that once filled a cart now barely fill a basket. Gas prices fluctuate wildly, utility bills spike in the winter, and even simple pleasures like eating out are becoming rare luxuries. While wages remain relatively stagnant, the prices of essential goods and services climb steadily upward. It's not just about affording luxuries, it's about survival. Seniors on fixed incomes are choosing between food and heat. Students are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Families are cutting back on basic needs. The polite exterior of Canadian life masks a deeper struggle, where the promise of economic balance is crumbling before their eyes. The system seems rigged, and many Canadians feel like they're losing a battle they never signed up for. A healthcare system on the edge of collapse. Canadians take immense pride in their universal healthcare system, and rightly so. But lately, cracks are forming in a system once praised around the world. Emergency rooms are overcrowded, wait times for specialist appointments stretch into months or even years, and rural communities are left without basic medical care. Patients are being treated in hallways. Nurses are quitting in droves. Mental health services are overwhelmed. The system is under so much strain that even routine procedures have become monumental challenges. The emotional toll this takes on Canadians is immeasurable: anxiety, fear, helplessness. A nation that promised health for all is now barely holding on, and citizens are left wondering, will help come when I really need it? Job market confusion and career insecurity. On paper, Canada seems to offer opportunities. But in reality, the job market is leaving many behind. Young graduates are drowning in student debt with no stable job in sight. Skilled immigrants are working in fields far below their qualifications. Older professionals are being phased out in favor of automation and budget cuts. Many Canadians are overqualified and underpaid, working long hours in insecure positions that offer no benefits or future prospects. It's not about laziness, it's about a system that doesn't know what to do with its talent. Ambitions are being crushed, potential wasted, and hope slowly drained from a workforce that once believed hard work would pay off. A mental health crisis hidden in silence. Mental health is one of the most talked about yet least addressed issues in Canada today. Despite growing awareness, access to care remains limited, especially for those in marginalized or rural communities. Therapy is often not covered by public health care, and private options are too expensive for most. Canadians are facing depression, anxiety, burnout, and trauma, silently. Many are suffering alone because they can't afford help or are afraid to speak up. Suicide rates, especially among youth and Indigenous communities, are heartbreakingly high. The stigma might be slowly lifting, but the support isn't rising fast enough. The mind is Canada's silent battlefield, and millions are fighting alone. Indigenous injustice that never went away. Canada's dark past with its Indigenous peoples didn't end with apologies. Today, Indigenous communities still face systemic neglect, poverty, and discrimination. Boil water advisories remain in effect for years. Housing is inadequate. Education and healthcare access are minimal. And the trauma of residential schools still echoes through generations. While Canada celebrates diversity and inclusion, its treatment of Indigenous people tells a different story. Reconciliation has become a political buzzword, not a lived reality. True justice remains distant, and Indigenous voices are still struggling to be heard in a nation built on their lands. Political division and public distrust. The image of Canada as a peaceful, united country is beginning to fracture. Political polarization is intensifying. Debates over climate change, vaccine mandates, economic policies, and international relations are dividing families, friends, and communities. Protests are becoming more frequent. Trust in politicians is eroding. The gap between rural and urban Canadians is widening. Social media adds fuel to every fire, and many feel like the nation's unity is hanging by a thread. Civility, once Canada's proud trait, is under threat, replaced by suspicion, resentment, and tribalism. Environmental decay and climate disasters. Canada, home to vast forests and crystal-clear lakes, is now battling the effects of its own environmental policies, or lack thereof. Wildfires rage uncontrollably. Floods destroy homes. Heat waves kill the vulnerable. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, it's a daily reality. Despite public concern, many feel that governments and industries are dragging their feet. Pipelines continue, forests are logged, and pollution goes unchecked. The land that defines Canadian identity is under siege, and people are left asking, what kind of Canada will be left for the next generation? Rising crime and safety concerns. While Canada remains safer than many countries, crime is growing in ways that make everyday life feel less secure. Carjackings, home invasions, gang violence, and drug-related crimes are becoming more common, even in previously quiet neighborhoods. The rise of fentanyl has created a devastating wave of addiction, homelessness, and overdoses in urban centers. Police forces are stretched thin, and communities are often left to deal with the consequences. Fear is creeping into places where Canadians once felt completely safe. The question of safety, once a given, now lingers in daily life. The death of privacy in a digital nation. Canadians are increasingly living online, banking, socializing, learning, and even working through digital platforms. But with convenience comes vulnerability. Data breaches, surveillance, misinformation, and digital manipulation are becoming the norm. Many feel like their personal freedoms are slowly disappearing. Algorithms know more about them than their own families. Social media is both addictive and toxic. Technology promised liberation, but it's starting to feel more like a trap. In a country that once felt free, many Canadians are starting to question just how private their lives really are. So, is Canada still the utopia it's believed to be? Or are these shocking problems signs of a deeper transformation? What we've explored today are not isolated issues. They are connected, forming a complex web of challenges that touch every Canadian life, whether they realize it or not. From the young graduate unsure of their future, to the senior who can't afford to heat their home, to the Indigenous child who still lacks clean drinking water, these are not abstract headlines. These are human stories. Canada still has immense potential. Its values of inclusion, fairness, and community are powerful. But those values must be protected and lived out, not just printed on a passport. If this video opened your eyes or made you think differently about Canada, then help us grow this conversation. Subscribe to our channel, leave a comment below, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Canada is still beautiful. But now, it needs to be brave.